I'm just checking. Yep, you're real. This is really happening, huh?
But you want an affidavit?
No, I just can't believe that you're with me, Jake. Even after knowing everything about me, good, bad, and ugly.
There's nothing ugly inside you. And I am so glad that I finally get a chance to show you how much I care about you. If you'll let me.
If? Do you know how long I've wanted you, Jake?
No, since the moment you laid eyes on my adorable face and this hot body.
Studs are a dime a dozen, buddy. But a man who is willing to make a fool out of himself all for the name of romance, that is a man who's going to steal my heart every time.
Where have I made a fool of myself lately?
No.
No.
No. But you were willing to. That night at Mabel's when you were dancing all by yourself. Remember that?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Right in the middle of that hot dog joint, you were dancing with that imaginary partner. In front of everybody. And you didn't care what anybody thought because you just wanted to make me smile. And, you've been making me smile ever since. And now that's what I want to do for you.
I'm not getting that because nothing
Good.
is gonna mess up tonight.
Nothing except that.
Okay, all right, don't move a muscle.
Can you believe what we had to sit through today? I mean, can you believe it? I mean, David was in rare form. I understand why you flew off the handle like
Emily.
that. I went down to the police station after court adjourned to bail you out. I thought, you needed some help, but much to my surprise, you already left. How'd you get yourself out so fast?
A very special lady.
Forgive me, no doubt you expected me sooner, but once I started filling my basket, I was like a little boy in a toy store. You'll be pleased to know that I got everything on your list.
My list?
Oh, I'm sorry, our list. I'm still getting used to your generous spirit. The snack aisle was brimming with goodies. I must confess, I did sample a few.
I think that's very kind of you, but I think you misunderstood. Matthew, why would I want all this junk? Hey, back off, hon. I asked Matt to buy me all that junk. I never knew it would be such a blast to have a butler. You've got to be kidding me. After everything that you've done to my family, you have the nerve to come into this house and try to pass yourself off as me and trick poor Matthew? No, Matt knows who I am. And I've gotten to know him pretty well, too, since I've been crashing here. Right, Matt? Crashing? What are you talking about?
It's true, Mrs. Snyder. Miss D'Angelo is the guest here.
No, not if I have anything to say about it. Matthew, what were you thinking? Letting a con artist like this talk her way into my mother's house?
I'm afraid you don't understand. Ms. Walsh insisted Miss D'Angelo stay here. She was very clear about it.
Why would she do that?
Because I needed a place to stay, and your mother's got like a dozen extra rooms. I guess the generous gene skips a generation.
This doesn't make any sense. Why would my mother want you here?
Because I'm a barrel of laughs. All right. She wanted to keep an eye on me. But hey, if I gotta be under house arrest, what better house to be in, right, Matt? I got a beautiful room, nice view, and that tub in my private bathroom, big enough for me and the Knicks start in 5.
I want you out.
Now, is that fair, though, huh? Asking Matt to disobey a direct order? You would want to cost him his job, would you? Now, if you don't mind, I gotta help Matt unpack the groceries.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
No. Unlike some princesses around here, I don't like anybody to do my dirty work. Hey,
Hey, how did you know I like beer nuts?
What lucky guess.
We're gonna eat those when I teach you how to play poker. Yeah, I'm gonna teach Matt how to play poker. He's gonna teach me how to play cricket. What do you think of that?
I think we need to speak alone.
You gonna hit me again?
Don't tempt me.
Shaking in my boots. You should be. You tried to trick my friends, fool my family. You even managed to seduce my husband. I'm telling you one thing, I am back in town. And I'm not going to let you horn in on any part of my life, including my mother.
Tough talk, Will.
But this isn't about what you want. And the sooner you start accepting that, the better.
Molly, you must be a special woman. I mean, to muster the strength to bail Jake out after everything you went through today, having your character ripped to shreds in a public forum.
What can I do for you, Emily?
No, I need to talk to you.
Do why don't you talk to me? I want to leave Molly out of this because she's had kind of a rough day.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have I offended you? I mean, that's certainly not my intention. In fact, while I'm here, I want you to know that I understand your pain. Really. I mean, sitting there listening to all those lurid personal secrets etched into court record for all eternity. I mean, you must feel so low and unclean.
The only unclean thing in the courtroom today was that snake David Stenbeck, and after today, he can't hurt anyone.
Well, it depends on the verdict.
No, it does not. He is out of our lives for good.
Well, that's wishful thinking.
If wishful thinking worked, you would have been gone 10 minutes ago.
You know, I don't understand. Why do you have to be so defensive? I need to talk to Jake.
Then speak fast.
Okay, fast. Reporter to reporter. This whole Stenbeck story, you know, we're right in the middle of it. How do we cover it?
We don't. At least I'm not going to.
What are you talking about? You're a journalist. You're a responsible journalist. You can't just kill the story.
Emily, as a responsible human being, I cannot do anything with the story because I'm too close to it and the people that it involves.
Right, but the verdict, I mean, when the verdict comes down, you have to have a strategy,
I do
right?
have a strategy. I'm gonna hang out with Molly and have some time free of hysteria and all the hype and all the people. So I will say good night.
Okay, all right. But you know, actually, I was thinking, Molly, I'm really surprised that you left Abigail home alone. I mean, aren't you worried about the press, you know, them hounding her?
She's sleeping over at a friend's house, out of town, but thanks for carrying him.
Sure.
For the 12th time, good night.
Okay, you know,
Right.
both of you, I just want you to both know, you know, anytime, like when the verdict comes down,
Oh, but Emily, she does not let go.
It's over. I know it.
Oh, you can see into the future?
Mm-hmm.
Then tell me, mister, what lies ahead.
I can't tell you, but I can show you. Is it true what you said about Abigail being MIA tonight?
Oh, why, do you wish she was here?
She's a great kid. She's a great kid, but I'm just so glad her sexy, beautiful, to die for mom doesn't have to go home tonight.
You are, Jake McKinnon. You are a gift.
I don't care who you've conned into taking your side. I will never forgive you. I will never like you. And I will never allow you anywhere near my family. So you take your chips and your wine coolers and your bad attitude and you get out. I gotta tell Matt next time, not Joe's. You're a piece of work. Oh, forgive me. Would you like some? First you pretend to be me. And when that act fails, you just pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and there you go. You're the lovable lunatic Rose D'Angelo. How long did it take you to perfect this act? What is it with you, huh? You don't like me when I'm being you. You don't like me when I'm being me. What do you want from me? I want you to stop using the people that I care about, including my mother. I know it drives you nuts that anybody in this town would would even want to talk to me. But I'm telling you the truth. I did not worm my way into Miss Walsh's house. She asked me to come here. That's your version of the story. You want to hear mine? When your plan to steal Holden went south, you decided, hey, if I can't have the guy, I'll still take the cash. Then you went after my mother. New game, same price. It's a very interesting theory, Sherlock, but there's only one problem with that. When have you known Lucinda Walsh to do something that she didn't want to do? They have not created a monster big enough to manipulate that broad. But you are manipulating her, Rose. You're playing on her soft side. You're pretending to be the victim, and it's going to stop. As soon as my mother comes home, I'm letting her in on the real Rose D'Angelo, and you're going to be booted out of this house and out of town. That's funny they bring up the real Rose D'Angelo. I'm getting the first taste of the real Lily Snyder right now. Oh, behind that soft voice and those Gentile manners, I think you mean genteel. Underneath all of that, you're heartless. You're mean. You're only out for yourself. I should have known. You come stomping around my turf telling me you're going to help me find some diamond. You found that diamond because of me. And I lost it because of you. You and your Aussie boy toy and his crazy sister, the only link that I ever had to my past, gone forever. Oh, please, if you're going to cry about the diamond, at least be honest about why you care. All right, I admit it. You spend your life kicking up your heels for drunken losers. You're hoping one time you're going to hit it big. And I did. But you blew it for me. You won't even admit how much you owe me. I don't owe you a thing. Whatever I have done to you, you more than made up for it by stealing my husband, my children, my entire life. No, husband. Period. Can't get that picture out of your head, can you? Me and Holden. Him not knowing the difference between the two of us in the dark or the light. You're so big on honesty. Come on. Let's hear it. Admit it how much you hate me. Oh, I admit it. I hate you. I hate you as much as I've ever hated anybody in my life. Maybe more. And I want everybody to know, everybody that you duped into believing that you were me, I want them to know the monster that you really are. I want you to suffer. The way that you've made me suffer. And I want you out of my life, out of my sight. For good. Is that honest enough for you? Yeah. Thanks for sharing your wish list with me. But don't try to bring me down, because thanks to your mom, I am living in the lap of luxury. And no one, and I mean no one, is ever going to take that away from me. We'll see about that. Oh!
Well, tried to post bail. Someone beat me to it.
Oh. Well, let me guess. Were her initials MC?
Oh, can you believe it?
Yeah, considering Molly's the most important person in Jake's life right now.
And why do you think that is?
Oh, wait, let me guess. I think I know this one. Maybe, because he likes her?
Because she's not giving him a choice. What? She's in his face 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, wasting his time, all right? Not to mention his talent.
It doesn't seem like Jake seems to mind too much.
No, he doesn't mind because he's too nice to do anything about it. Meanwhile, he's like the best journalist in the Midwest.
Wait, I thought you were the best journalist.
All right, the best male journalist. I mean, he should be focusing on his career, on his life, not being forced to hold Molly Conlon's hand.
Forced? Is that the way you see it? I never saw it that way.
No, of course, you didn't see it that way. You're one of her former conquests, remember? You can't see the way she plays, man. She does this victim thing to get Jake's attention. Jake, I can't live without you, Jake.
Oh, and I don't know any other woman who's ever done anything like that.
Don't even think of comparing me to Molly Conlon, okay? We are so not alike. I have had legitimate hardship in my life. This woman manufactures her problems out of thin air. I mean, her crusade to get even with Katie Peretti, her sheer terror to take the stand at David's. Oh, give me a break. There are all these blatantly calculated ways to get Jake to pay attention to her at the expense of everything else in his life.
Meaning you?
No, this has nothing to do with me.
Emily, it has everything to do with you. You just can't stand the fact that he's chosen Molly over you.
Oh, this is so not a competition, okay?
No, you're right. It's no contest. Everyone in that courtroom today could see what they have. They have something that's going to last, Emily.
You're wrong. You're dead wrong. He's going to see through Molly Conlon, all right? It's just a matter of time.
You okay?
Okay, I'm incredible. You?
I am incredible squares. What do you call it?
No. I'm just feeling... Don't laugh, okay?
I won't.
I'm just feeling a little shy, I guess.
Oh, I can't believe you said that. I feel exactly the same way.
Really? You don't think it has anything to do with what was exposed to the trial, right?
Oh, bite your tongue, no way.
Well, then how do you explain it? Two of Oakdale's gutsiest people both getting a sudden attack of the Bastards at the same time.
I know, I think it's like an old-fashioned romance. We went nice and slow, and so now we're sort of in each other's heads, in each other's thoughts, which is kind of daunting, but if you think about it, it's kind of wonderful.
You are. I need to ask you something. I know that tonight couldn't have been easy for you.
I don't care what happened at the trial.
No. No, enough about me. This is a question about you. I know tonight is the first time you've been with somebody since...
No. We don't have to go into this.
Jake, we've been dealing with my past all day. I can certainly handle yours. If you've been thinking about Vicky at all tonight, you can tell me.
You want to know the truth? I've thought about the past at all tonight. Because for the first time in a long time, I'm living in the moment, and in this moment, and in this bed, I am thinking of nothing but you.
Get off of me! I'll get off if you get out! Oh, no! 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 Stop it! Lily, stop it! Get off the road! Stop! What are you two doing? She said that you asked her to move in here. Is that true?
Dear, I asked her to come and stay a while.
Oh, that's it. The world has officially turned upside down.
Lily, you've got to calm down.
You don't understand what's going on here. You, of all people, how could you do that? How could you ask her to stay here, walk around town and gloat and make a complete fool out of me? You don't need me for that. You're doing a perfectly good job yourself.
Please, the two of you, you've got to learn to tolerate each other. You have to get along.
Why would I want to put a human being like this anywhere in my life?
Because, dear, she's your sister.
Sisters? Is this a joke? If it is, I ain't laughing.
There's nothing funny about this, darling. I promise you that.
We just got back from New Jersey, and we have proof.
Whatever it is, I'm not interested.
Dear, this is very disturbing, and I know that. Please hear us out.
You can explain from now until the end of time. There's no way that I would ever believe that that piece of garbage is my sister.
I wouldn't lie about this.
I'm not talking about lying. I'm talking about hallucinating. Iva. If Rose is my sister, that means it's your... Mother?
I know it's a shock.
Forgive me for breaking up this little reunion. But are you going to tell me that all this time you knew that I had a twin and you failed to mention it?
I would have told you, but I didn't know.
You didn't know. You didn't know that you had another baby? Oh, of course, that explains it happens every day.
Dear, come on. When you know the circumstances surrounding everything, you'll understand.
Wait, none of this makes any sense. Hey, you told me you went to talk to my dad. Joe, D'Angelo.
Yes, Rose, I did.
Well, if he told you that I wasn't his daughter, then he's lying.
It wasn't just him. It's been corroborated by others.
Well, they're lying. They're all lying. Come on. Why would this happen? I want to know why somebody's messing with my head. Oh, now I understand. Look at her. This is what she wants. fucking up she is? Whatever you found out in New Jersey, Rose is the one behind. Mother, Mom, she wants your money.
Unfortunately, my darling Lily, it's not as simple as that. It's not about money.
No, wait. I want to hear how I pulled this off. I must be brilliant. I must be a freaking genius. No, you're just a freaking crook. Say it again. Say it again. Come on, closer this time, and I'll bust your teeth out.
You stop right there. I'm not going to have a wrestling match on my library rug. Now, I'm staying here with Rose, and we're having a conversation, and Iva, you take Lily into the foyer. Lily? Darling, please, this is difficult stuff. Don't make it harder.
Miss Walsh, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but you're barking up the wrong tree. I know where I come from.
Rose, dear, you need to know the truth.
You got to think about who you're talking about here. The woman you're calling a liar. My ma.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I never meant to imply, not even for a second, that Mrs. D'Angelo was intentionally lying.
Good, because she would never do that. She gets extra money at the grocery store, she went right back. She made things right. She never lied about her age, her health, nothing. Why would she lie to me about being my mom?
Well, as I understand the situation, it wasn't that she was lying. It was just that she didn't know. She didn't know. She thought she gave birth to you, but she didn't.
You don't know the woman you're talking about. You didn't have the opportunity to meet her. She was amazing.
But you knew her. Dear, you told me when we were talking. I asked you, I was quizzing you about when you were born, and you said you didn't know too much about it because your mother didn't talk about it. Well, it's got to be talked about today.
All right. All right, let's talk about it.
Obviously, you have an uncanny resemblance to my daughter, Lily. You have used that and manipulated us, but never mind. I had to find out. I had to look into this, so I went to New Jersey, and I talked to the man who you have always thought was your father.
And what did Joe have to say?
He told me the whole story. He told me everything. They wanted lots of kids, and they were finally... His wife got pregnant, and they were just ecstatic.
She wanted a baby real bad. She told me that, my mom. She didn't lie about that.
No, she didn't lie about that. And I don't think she ever really lied about anything. It's just that she didn't really know. Her baby was stillborn.
No, that can't be. Don't let Rose trick you into believing her crazy story.
Sweetheart, this isn't some story that she has concocted.
How do you know that?
Because she had no idea that Lucinda and I were looking into her past.
That's right, like she had no idea that she was going to steal my husband either.
Oh, Lily. Lily, Rose hurt you. I understand that. But in this case, she's not the bad guy. She's the victim.
She wants you to believe that, Iva.
Do you think that I really wanted to believe it? How horrible and how painful is that? But Lucinda kept finding new pieces of this puzzle, and after a while, I had to consider the possibility that I might have another child out there, a child that I never knew about.
You keep saying that. How could you not know? How could you not know?
I asked Lucinda the same question, and we went to New Jersey, and I found the truth.
And what did you find out? That you didn't know before?
5 minutes before you were born, I gave birth to a baby I never held, a baby I never saw, a little girl. Lily, it was your sister, Rose.
Look at the time. You gotta be starving.
Actually, I could use a bite.
Don't go there.
Okay. don't we go out to dinner?
Why don't we stay here and order pizza instead?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, that definitely calls for a toast to my 3 favorite toppings. Pepperoni, sausage, and you.
You are so bad.
I try. And I happen to have picked up something for an occasion just like this.
I'm afraid to see what this is.
Well, Greg, close your eyes and listen. Remember?
Yes? That's the music that you danced to at Mabel's.
You do remember.
How could I forget? Ow!
Ow.
I sat on something. Oh, that's nice. Emily definitely left this here on purpose so it would stab me right in the butt.
That's not Emily's.
Well, it must belong to some woman. Maybe Rose's? I don't know. You've had so many women in and out of Shea Jake. Could belong to anybody. You're not laughing. What is it?
You know, I know this is going to sound crazy, but that's Vicky's.
You mean this looks like something that Vicky used to have?
No, I mean that Vicky had a hair thingy just like that.
Well, I mean, it's not the most unique hair thingy in the world, so... are you sure it didn't belong to Rose or Emily?
Not that I remember it. That's weird.
What is?
Oh, nothing. You're going to think I'm crazy.
No.
No, I just...
Tell me.
For a second, I thought I could smell Vicky's perfume.
Well, I mean, if it, in fact, does belong to Vicky, then there's a chance that her scent could still be on it. Did you hold on to any of her jewelry?
No. I mean...
Well, maybe...
No, nothing that I can remember.
It could have gotten mixed up in some boxes when you moved. I mean, if it's something that she wore a lot.
Just something that she used to, you know, put in her hair when she would go out in the yard and mess around with the kids, or... I used to tease her and tell her that she wear it to bed. You know what? That's so crazy. Listen, what, do you want on your pizza?
Jake, it's okay. I mean, it's okay to have memories. It doesn't change what you said tonight about living in the moment.
I meant every word.
I know you did. I also know that what you and Vicky had was very special. And so it is completely normal to have memories. And they can just pop up out of nowhere. I mean, for no reason at all other than that a mysterious hair thingy showing up.
I guess I realized that it was been about a year since I saw Vicky.
That must really hurt. Anniversaries.
I'm sorry that we got into all this.
I'm not. Because it makes me feel even closer to you. And it doesn't take anything away from what happened tonight.
You are an incredible woman.
Lucinda found the nurse that was with me that night. She's a nun now. Her name is Sister Mary Catherine, and she told me what really happened that night.
Don't you remember?
No, I don't. Only parts of it. I remember you being born, but before that, it's a blur. I don't remember, and I always thought that it was because I tried to block it out. But she told me that they gave me drugs so I would be out of it. So I had no idea what was going on.
Like the fact that you were carrying 2 children.
Lily, I was poor. I had no prenatal care, so if there were any signs that there were two babies. I didn't recognize them.
If you're trying to convince me it's not working...
Please, Lily, please, but...
I want you to explain something to me. If there were twins, why? Why were we separated? They never do that. If there was a child born before me, why did they sick?
She was sick when she was born. She was very weak, and they thought that she was going to die.
My then husband's lawyer, awful guy, he said he could find us a healthy baby. And he was determined to deliver, if you'll pardon the expression. Anyway, so he's there, and he looked at you, and you're struggling for breath, and he said, no, this is unacceptable, and the deal's off.
What? No offense, Miss Walsh, but you're nuts. Come on, look at me. Sickly. I'm the picture of health. Come on, look at me.
We were talking about the day of your birth, Rose.
I've seen pictures of myself when I was a baby. In diapers, I was as strong as an ox. I was the kid who was kicking sand in the other kids' faces.
I have no doubt that you were queen of the sandbox. But those strengths were acquired because of the love that you were given later on.
By who? My fairy godmother?
That's enough, all right? Now you listen to me and let me finish, and then you'll understand. So the lawyer's looking at the baby. The baby is no good. He's going to go back. It's unacceptable. The deal's off. And then Iva, the lady who you just met who's in the foyer, goes into labor again, and she's got another baby. And that is Lily, your sister.
I was a teenager, Lily. I had no money, and I had nothing. And I had just given birth to a baby that wasn't going to live through the night, and this woman took the baby. She took the baby, she kept it a secret, and she nursed her back to health in Chicago.
Then how did Rose end up in New Jersey with the D'Angelos?
Because this woman felt so guilty about her part in this illegal adoption ring, and she wanted to start a new life. And she took that baby with her. My baby.
Just like my mom. I look just like her. Everybody says so.
Well, I know how you feel, dear.
Yeah, you don't. You don't know how I feel, Miss Walsh.
I have 2 daughters. I have 3 daughters, actually. My firstborn, and then Lily. Lily is my adopted daughter. I love Lily. I love Lily with a wonderful love, like the love that Mrs. D'Angelo must have given you. All right? But we have to deal with the fact that the birth mother is the woman that's out in the foyer, all right? You have to accept that. I had to deal with that. Oh, something nice that Joe said. He said, do you remember it at all when you were little? You used to fantasize you had a sister.
I need proof. I need something else. I need something more.
Okay. I'll give you what I got. All right? Oh. Here, dear. It isn't much. But it's signed by the doctor who examined you when you were born. It isn't a birth certificate, but it's the best we can do.
You know, the more I sit here and think about what happened in that courtroom today, I mean, the way that David goaded Molly, that's to be expected, right? But the way that Molly provoked Jake to fly across the courtroom like that, to protect her with quote-unquote honor. Oh, and enough with the crying already, enough with the tears. And you know, she loves sitting there watching him get arrested, you know, because she said, oh, he's doing this for me, I love him. Oh, it drives me crazy. Jake, what does Jake get out of all this? Nothing. Zippo, he gets nothing. He's this terrific journalist, and he's not going to write the story. This beautiful story falls right in his lap, and he's not going to write it because he's got some bimbo wrapped around her little finger. That is the kind of waste I'm talking about here.
This is the kind of waste that I'm talking about. A beautiful, sexy, smart woman panting after some guy who has no idea who she is.
You know what? If I had half a brain, I would call him. I'm just going to call him and tell him. I'm just going to tell him to wake up to reality. Smell the coffee. You know, this is not the right woman for you. You're wasting your time.
And who is going to get you to wake up, Emily?
I don't... What are you talking about?
You don't get it, do you?
No, I don't get it. You've been saying all these things to me. I have no idea what you're trying to...
Nothing better than this.
I'm hungry too.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. And not for pizza. You really want that pizza, don't you?
You know, I haven't eaten since, Gonna have to tell you that there is nothing better than cold pizza.
You had 2 babies. And you never got to hold either one. Sister. After all this time.
Why don't we go inside?
No. I can't face her. I feel so stupid.
Why? Why? Why do you feel stupid?
All my life, I was proud of my heritage. You know, I'm a D'Angelo. D'Angelo. Italiano, you know?
Yeah.
Made a mean marinara like my mom. Everybody said I walked like my dad. Like Joe, you know? Like I own the streets.
Think you could teach me how to make marinara? I'd like that. I bet you learned a lot of things from the D'Angelos.
Except for who I was. You know, I understand about my mom. I do. But Joe, why would he keep a secret like that from me?
Hey, that's easy. He loves you.
He lied. My whole life. Nothing in my life is real.
Well, dear, I think both of you probably feel that you've been kicked in the stomach. And, I don't expect anything from anyone at this moment. Except I think Iva will agree with me on this. Please, for all our sakes, the fighting must cease.
Because you need each other. Not just because you're sisters. But because you're twins.
And so you're my mom, huh?